everybody, it's Jennifer, and it's time for the weekly update. Okay, I've been having some really huge revelations this week. Lots of thought processes going on. Now, I know I've talked about it a lot, but I've been doing this. It's a eating psychology course, basically, that I've been doing with my friend Audra, and it's called the Freedom Project. And if you haven't already checked it out or checked Audra out, go visit her website, audrabaker.com. Link will be down below for you. She's amazing. She is absolutely amazing, and she's been such a blessing on my life. And one of the reasons that I say that is because she's kind of brought some things to light that I've never thought about. One of the revelations that I've had was a couple of weeks ago when I realized that food is not bad. Okay, food is not bad. Food is not the enemy. There's no such thing as a bad food. And the reason I say that, of course, you're probably sitting there going, what? Sugar, carbs, fat, those things are all bad foods. Well, no, they're not bad foods. See, food, it can't be good or bad. Food doesn't have the ability to be good or bad because food doesn't have a spirit, it doesn't have a soul, it doesn't have decision-making processes, so it can't make the conscious decision to be good or bad. It just is. It's just there. It's like I use a lot of things that I use for examples are cupcakes or biscuits. It's not the cupcake's fault that it's a cupcake. It can't help being a cupcake. It is a cupcake. And, eating that cupcake is not necessarily a bad thing. Now, of course, if you have really bad dumping syndrome, or you're allergic to gluten, or you have some other problem with one of the things that's inside that cupcake, yeah, of course you want to avoid it. It's like a food allergy. You wouldn't want to do that to yourself. But at the same time, if you don't have any reaction to those foods, eating a cupcake every now and again is not necessarily a bad thing. So I got into this mentality of, well, you know what? Then I can have this, and I can have this, and I can have this. And I was loading myself down with all of these foods that are not beneficial to my body. Foods that are very high in carbohydrates, that are very refined, processed foods. Every day I was making something with Bisquick and biscuit dough and canned biscuits. And, I was eating chips, and I was eating, just all these things that are not necessarily beneficial to my body. They're not bad foods, but they don't do me any good to eat them either. And so, I was just loading myself down with it. And it's kind of like when you take a little child and you say, okay, you can't have any sweets, you can't have anything like that. You can't have sweets, you can't have cookies, you can't have cake. Well, you put the kid in a sweet shop, and what's he going to do? He's going to gorge himself on all of these delicious sweets, and he's just going to shove them down his gullet until he just makes himself completely and utterly sick. And that's what I did. I was loading my body up with these carbohydrates and these things that my body reacts to poorly. And I've been having reactions, and I've talked about it before, how I've been fatigued, and I've been listless, and I've been having digestive issues, and all of these things are going on, and it's because I've been loading myself down with these foods. And so, we as bariatric patients, we tend to go either one extreme or the other, and that's why we got to the state we were in before bariatric surgery, because we were either all in or all out. We were either completely gorging ourselves or completely starving ourselves. And that's no different after the bariatric surgery because, we tell ourselves, well, I can't eat this, and I can't eat this, and I can't eat this. Well, most of us can't. That goes without saying. You would not give a gastric bypass patient something with full refined, sugar in it. Send them into dumping syndrome for weeks. That's not okay. But at the same time, it's really hard for me to explain this right now. At the same time, saying that it's bad food, I just talked about that. It's not necessarily a healthy idea either. So what I went back to was a few years ago, I did a Bible study called Made to Crave through a ministry. It's called Proverbs 31 Ministries, Lisa Turkhurst is the one who did it. And one of the Bible verses that they use throughout the Bible study is from Corinthians. And I don't have the address here. It's in, I wrote a blog about it, so go read my blog and you'll see it's in 1 Corinthians. And it says, all things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial. And, that's kind of a paraphrase there, but it didn't really click with me until last night. I was sitting on a coaching call with Audra, and it clicked. It completely clicked with me. It was like, oh, yeah, because see, here's the thing. Yeah, I can have that biscuit. Sure, I can have that biscuit. That biscuit is not, something I'm not allowed to have. I can have that biscuit if I really want that biscuit. But what's going to happen when I eat it? Well, first, what's going to happen is that it's going to sit in my stomach like a lump. It's going to take it forever to digest, and it's just going to sit there, and it's not going to be really comfortable for a while. So that's the first thing that happens. The second thing that happens is that my body decides that rather than other beneficial foods, it wants more carbohydrate. It wants more biscuits. It wants popcorn. It wants chips. It wants cookies. It wants what it wants. And so that's what I end up snacking on because it kind of gets a chain reaction going. And then beyond that, since I've just spent the entire day eating nothing but carbohydrates, number one, I didn't get my protein in for the day. Not good. Number two, didn't get any fiber in for the day. Also not good. No vegetables, no fruit, so therefore no nutrients. I'm not eating beneficial food. And so it wreaks havoc on the digestion, and it wreaks havoc on how I feel by the end of the day. And so I'm left at the end of the day feeling sluggish, feeling terrible, with a huge lump in my stomach because of all the carbs that are just sitting there waiting to be digested. So yeah, I can have that biscuit. Sure, I can have that biscuit if I want it. And you know what? Every once in a while, it's okay to have a biscuit. But is it really beneficial? Probably not. And see, and the thing is that for the last couple of weeks, I've been completely denying myself the beneficial foods that I love. Not just foods that are necessarily good for me. I mean, to be honest, I'm not a fan of salad. I'll eat it, but it's not my favorite. I like some salads. There are some salads that I just adore, that I love. But for the most part, I'm not a salad person. But I do love asparagus. I love watermelon. I love bananas. I love carrots. I love chicken, grilled chicken. I love grilled chicken. All of these things, I was denying myself these foods that I love, but they're also beneficial. And so, I want to encourage you guys to think a little bit about things rather than being in a state of complete denial that I can't have that. I want you to kind of take a turnaround, and I encourage you to really look at it from a different perspective and say, I'm not eating this food not because this is a bad food, but I'm not eating it because it's not beneficial to me. I encourage you, I keep saying I want you to, but I encourage you to look at things from a different perspective and see your foods that you're putting into your body as beneficial foods. And I want you to think about what your favorite foods are that are beneficial. What can you think of that you love, 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 that is a beneficial food for your body? And so I encourage you guys to get out of the state of thinking that you have to deny yourself. And I want you to get more into a state of, I'm going to feed myself what's beneficial. A couple of weeks ago, I started coming up with the saying, don't feed your body, nourish it, and that goes along with it. Let's nourish our bodies. While we're nourishing our bodies, we're nourishing our minds and nourishing our souls as well. And it kind of all comes together into one, right? So, all right. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry this video ran a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I really think this was so good. And if you think this was good too, please feel free to leave a comment, like, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like this video, and share it, and check us out on Facebook. Check us out on our Facebook page and our Facebook group, and I'll leave those links below as well. And visit our website for all recipes and blogs and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, you guys are wonderful. Thank you for joining me. Love you guys so much. Mwah! God bless you. Have an amazing weekend. And we'll see y'all later. Hasta la vista. I can't talk today. Hasta la vista. All right, bye. Mwah!